Good morning. This is JahLogic, and you're watching the Morning Rant. And with me, I have my two co-hosts, VeeSmilez.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, V. And Stephon. What's up with you, player? Mike's on Teddy Riley.
Grand Rising, everybody. Good morning,
bro. Grand Rising, man. So I'll tell you guys, like I said, before we got on. Sorry that I was late, but thank you guys for pulling up early. And like V said, this is the original time we did set out to do this venture. You know what I mean? But yeah. And I want to really thank the audience who pulled up already. And let's see who that is, because I see we got some people in the chat. Let's see what's going on here. Sleazy Aki, home team. What's up, player? He's giving us a round of applause. You know what I mean?
Hey, I've been meaning to shout Sleazy Aki out for like 3 days now, man. I ain't see you in the chat. Thank you. Gave me a donation, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Salute to Sleazy Aki, man. Thank you for that donation as well. That's home team right there. You know what I'm saying? In real life, in real time. You know what I'm saying? So let's get this episode popping.
And I just want to give a shout out to one of my great fans, Ra. He's been supporting me for a long time through all of my endeavors, and he watches my show now on here too. So, and he's giving me a donation. So yes.
Salute to that man.
Mm-hmm. He's not in the chat. He's one of those G's that move in silence.
Salute to that man still. If he's gonna watch the reboot.
Yeah, he still watches though.
Yeah, he watches, One of my homies told me they watch us on the actual on the smart TV and all that. So
nice. That's how I watch the playback.
Yeah, so they like we don't really necessarily have they can't really be in the live chat because of that. But at the same time, it's all good. He says he was out of town. That's why he wasn't able to pull up. And he also says he's just listening. That's what's up. And we got a few people in the room right now, but obviously they're not used to being up this early at this point, even though we started out doing it this early. And but yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see who pulls up, where the early birds is at. You know what I mean? I think I wanted to start doing it this early again anyway, just to, kind of gauge the retention we get this early in the morning.
Successful people get up in the morning.
Is that true?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. They also be talking that team no sleep bullshit.
Shout out to Steve Harvey.
Oh yeah, Steve Harvey. He did do a whole rant about that.
Now that nigga is on some bullshit, because TK Kirkland said if you don't sleep now, you always heard what Young Jeezy said, you can sleep when you die. And right. TK Kirkland said, if you don't sleep, you're going to die a lot sooner. So,
hey, look, that shit is real, because people actually die from lack of sleep. Like, that shit is possible.
Yeah, but I don't know if y'all remember, but you remember that show working for Diddy?
Oh, yeah.
they weren't getting no sleep. They was always grinding. And that's how Diddy said he made his way to the top. That's what worked for Steve Harvey. And unfortunately, it seems to be a trend in the black community that you have to have sleepless nights to make it. I ain't gonna go get too black, but yeah, that's it.
I remember that show. I forget the name of the show. But if it's the one that I'm thinking about, it's the one where he had people like they had all these like kind of like challenges and all that, and it was about who was a hustler or not. That's what you're talking about?
No, it wasn't about who was a hustler. Pretty much they were trying to replace Farnsworth Bentley.
Right. Yeah. And he was in that too.
I mean,
that wasn't where he was holding the P. He was holding the P for making an event. I just want to be clear.
Wait, holding what? What you said?
Farnsworth Bentley had an episode where he was holding Diddy's P. I don't know if this was on Making the Band or was this on that show.
Holding his P?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I am unaware of
No, y'all not unaware of this shit. Get the fuck out of here.
I just don't know.
Get out of here. There's no way y'all don't know about this.
Wait, his urine?
Yes.
I don't remember that shit. I don't remember that shit at all. Farnsworth Bentley, I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit at all, Farnsworth. Yo, Keita Carr says, damn, y'all early. Yeah, we just talking about that. And salute to you that you early too. So, salute to you. And Chris Jones says top of the morning. Top of the morning, Chris. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Chris Jones.
Yeah, man. Real one right there. But at the same time, right? The show that I think you're talking about, I think they did have challenges, and I feel like the show you're talking about is the one my homegirl Shola was on, because they had them do different things to see like if they had like business sense or something like that. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. I don't remember Puffy having a lot of shows. Like I remember him Making the Band, and then this show that I'm thinking about is that the one you're talking about? Like they all had they had challenges, no?
I think it was called Who Want to Work for Diddy. They had challenges, but I don't remember it being about whether they were business savvy. It was just whether or not they could get shit done that he needed.
Yeah, I think it's the same show. James Kill says, Grand Rising, son. Salute to the platform and chat. Well, Grand Rising to you, James. Thank you for pulling up. And Keenan, I remember that show. Yeah, so yeah, I think you're talking about that show. My homegirl Shola was on, and she made it to like one of the finals, and but she didn't make it. She didn't make the cut. She didn't make it to that. She didn't get to hold the P, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Keenan says Nuggets in 6, by the way. What's your thoughts on that, Steph? Our resident sports advisor outside of Toro Talk Sports. What's your thoughts on
LA and 5? I've been saying LA and 5.
Okay. There's your response to that, Keenan. And James Kills and says good, and he's laughing. Yeah, salute. So yeah, damn, I played the intro on Fuzzy earlier. Damn, man. So we rush and get you. Like I feel like even though we early, I feel like I'm rushing because I know I gotta run right out of here to do some business. But we do have shit. Oh, you just said this, huh, V? Something about Diddy holding the P. I mean P Diddy. What P Diddy had is what it's called. Hold it shit up.
Wow. Oh yeah, walking to New York for cheesecake. Crazy, right?
They walked to Brooklyn from the city, so they had to walk over the bridge. But it is what it is. If you salute the Babs is cool as shit, and Dylon is cool as shit in real life too. But they did have him walk across that bridge. P Diddy, what had P Diddy? What type of title is this? But I guess this is not a current events. This is based on what we was just talking about, and you just said this to me, V.
I just needed some P proof.
All right.
And I know I wasn't bugging out. But yeah, they he was on a run. What does it say? Hold on. It says finally, according to the report, did he summon his assistant Farnsworth Bentley to help him out? And did he end up doing his business in a plastic bag? So yeah. This is when he was doing the vote or die challenge. And he was doing that track run shit. But he was running and shit like that in New York City. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Not really, but go ahead.
But no, that was it. He did his business in a plastic bag, and Farnsworth Bentley did it to help him out while he was working out and stuff like that.
crazy. So I guess that's a throwback story from way before we was doing this show. But
Super throwback.
Yeah. So apparently, Farnsworth definitely definitely carried Diddy's piss. I would have to quit that job that day. I don't give a fuck. I was like, all right, Puffy, it's been fun. It's been fun. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, what if he peed in the cup and then gave it to you?
no, I don't give a fuck what you peed in. I'm not a nurse. I ain't signed up for all that. You know what I'm saying? We got some comments. So yeah,
Diddy runs the city. I knew what I was talking about.
I'm rushing. James said, you said good grand rising, but not good rising. Okay, all right. So but salute. You know what I mean? Thank you for pulling up regardless. And good rising or grand rising, either way, salute to you. Good morning. Keenan Khan says Diddy runs the city.
Yes, that was the thing that he was doing. I know I'm not bugging that.
So if you're confused, we just talking about how we this conversation just went weird. It just went left, but we were talking about how we decided to come on early today because I had some business to handle by a certain time this morning, and we still want to give you your show like we said we was going to do, and then the conversation kind of skewed into people being up early, if that equivalates success, and people like Puff Daddy and Steve Harvey, you know, talking that team no sleep shit, and how Puffy had niggas holding his piss. So that's how I got there. You know what I mean? So all right. So but now that it went there and we done with that, and it's been proven that Diddy definitely has somebody hold his piss, I want to get to some of these stories I got pulled up. Yes, and speaking of piss, you know, we might as well start with this story. And it's good news. It's good news, but it has feces and defecation in it nevertheless. And according to the Daily News, a lot of shaking on your envy. That's according to the Daily News. MTA board is to formally ban pooping in subways and buses. So as far as the MTA is concerned, I think we were just talking about was we talking about public transportation not too long ago? I forget.
But, for the A train shit.
Oh, you know what it was? Yesterday we were talking about homeless people, and I think
them wilding out,
them jacking their dicks off and shit like that. You was talking about in the public in New York, and I guess you was talking to Casey about that on yesterday's show, and
yeah.
And I didn't say this story, but I definitely seen in my past when I was young, on Hoyt Skimmerhorn, I think it was. I seen a homeless lady shitting and pissing right there by the train station. And I definitely walked on the train before and saw piss on the actual floor. I haven't seen shit, but apparently, I mean, I stopped taking the train a long time ago before I even moved out of the city, but yeah, I've seen a lot on the train growing up, taking public transportation my whole youth. And the MTA, in case anybody who doesn't know, who's not from New York City, is the Metro Transit Authority, and they're planning on formally banning pooping on the subways and buses. And I'm going to read some of the article. They say that you're not supposed to do this. Should go without saying, but MTA bosses believe they need a rule banning defecating on the subway. The new rule of the on the agenda for the MTA meeting Wednesday rule will ban defecating on the city's subway buses and transit facilities. And they go on to say that transit rules previously mandated $100 fines for strap hangers who create a nuisance, hazard, or unsanitary conditions, including but not limited to spitting or urinating. Creating an unsanitary condition surely includes pooping. But MTA officials think that they have to be more specific. Transit workers have for decades griped about the strap hangers soiling the train, cars, and buses with human waste. On September 7th, on a train, operator was reportedly soiled with body fluid from a customer. What the fuck? I'm going to repeat that. On September 7th, a train operator was reportedly soiled with bodily fluid from a customer on the L Line's 8th Avenue. So that's in Manhattan. It says Terminal Manhattan, according to an internal MTA incident report. Once again, I would have left that job. It would have been it for me. If somebody would threw their shit or piss on me, job done. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I feel sorry for that person. I don't know if I could ever get over some shit like that. You know what I mean? Anyway, the transit workers said union local 100 president Tony Utano said, "We don't ride for 20 minutes and go upstairs. We're down there for entire shifts." Why is he saying that? Did the person get?
I wonder, did they make him go back to work?
Yo,
Because even my job yesterday, this lady spilled pickle juice all over my bus, and they was just like, "Yo, you got to clean it up and continue the route." I'm like, "What the fuck y'all talking about?"
oh my! Lisa was just pissed, but imagine somebody throw shit on you or piss on you. Like, would you go back to work after that?
No, I'm taking like 2 weeks off.
Yeah, I'm going home.
I'm going home. I'm taking off. I'm taking off 2 weeks. I would like to definitely. I'm finding that person. That's for fucking sure. There's no way I'm not finding that nigga. No, I don't give a fuck.
How we skim over the fact that you probably gonna kill a person on site. Steph, what would you do if somebody did that shit to you?
So let me just get this straight.
Yep, get it straight.
Motherfucker pulled his dick out and started pissing on him.
So specify the method of the method.
And see, if he's a train operator, the only way this could have happened is if the train is at a stop.
I mean, I'm trying to look over it again.
Because the only way this could happen is if the train conductor is at a stop. The train conductor is sitting at a station, and the passenger clearly, was waiting at whatever platform this was, and he must have, went into his rear end, cocked a handful, and went,
Yeah.
My thing is this though, because they say that the trains, my dad always says that the trains are electrical, so they're automatically set up to keep going. He may have not had the chance to even get off, that conductor. Like, he may have had to drive to Brooklyn, because after 8th Avenue, I think it's 6th Avenue. Yeah, he may have to drive to 6th Avenue to with the shit on him.
It was a train operator. You know what I mean? I just wanted to reiterate because I went back and look. It was a train operator. Like V said, the train operators obviously in their little booths.
Right.
But I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't have to drive nowhere. The train stops on random places all the time. I'm fucking up traffic that day. I'm stopping. They're gonna have to get to the bottom of that shit as I go home. Brooklyn Honcho says the MTA taught me half of life lessons. That's a fact. The MTA, growing up taking the MTA, definitely taught me a lot. And Brooklyn Honcho says that's the highest form of disrespect. Yeah, that's some jail shit. That's some jail shit. It's throwing your piss and shit on somebody is some jail shit. That stuff.
No, once. Good morning, Brooklyn Honcho.
Yes, good morning.
Two, man. That damn. Listen, because for it to happen, the nigga had to run up on you with his dick out, like and then pissed on you, and he must have had cuz in the corner because ain't no, you know what I'm saying?
Was a little.
You didn't fight back. You ain't do no fighting back.
It's a booth. It's really small. You know what I'm saying? That they sit in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He was, and then he panicked. He seen a homeless dick and just panicked. And because I don't see how a nigga run up on you with his dick out and y'all not, and you don't knock that nigga the fuck out. I don't understand that.
Oh man, I can't.
Must have been a white dude. Could have been a white dude.
It could have been anybody, man. It could have been anybody. I just can't call it. I can't call how I would have what I would have did afterwards outside of knowing I would have went home. But I mean, you don't want to wrestle with her. I said this before on a previous show, especially during now we got Corona. It's a little obvious. I definitely wouldn't want to wrestle with like a nasty type home because every homeless person isn't nasty, right? I wouldn't want to, wrestle with a straight up homeless, crazy, pissing on themselves, shitting on themselves type person. You feel me?
Hey, Logic. Can you imagine that nigga in the booth? Then he turned around like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And that nigga dick out.
At very least you gotta kick that nigga in the fucking, you know what I'm saying? The mid.
Oh, so you're willing to kick him in the dick?
I kick him somewhere in the midsection. You getting kicked in the mid section for sure. You know what I'm saying? You're getting the fuck away from me. But once you get pissed on you, that's a whole nother thing. Now I gotta go to the fuck. I gotta go to the hospital. I'm being dramatic with that shit. I'm being dramatic with that shit.
I am definitely gonna be dramatic because I'm taking off like at least a month. Like, there's no way I'm coming back to work the next day.
Yeah, nah, that shit would be. I can't fuck with it. Let me see something. Oh, we on Vanessa Smilez YouTube right now too. By the way, I thought I put it on your Facebook. We on your YouTube. But let me go back to these comments. That shit went left. I was just talking about how they was talking about how they had made it illegal to poop on the subway, but apparently it led us to a story where somebody got pissed on, and I had no idea because I didn't read the full story in advance. Laura Van says, "Damn, y'all up early. I forgot about the time difference." Yeah, you like an hour behind us, I believe, right? I believe you're in Texas. But we are, but this is the time we originally wanted to get up for the show. So we'll probably be getting up this early, especially starting a new season.
Trying to get off of nigger time.
Yeah, we're gonna try to stop being on the CP. Keenan says public transportation up north issues. That's definitely an up north thing. But let me tell you, in California, it ain't too much different. They got something called the BART, which is Bay Area Rapid Transit, and I've seen some crazy shit on there as well.
Yeah, isn't that where that girl got killed too? She got stabbed in the neck or something like that.
Yeah, that was actually at the train stop in Oakland. Like 5 minutes outside of Oakland. Yeah, and I think so it had something to do with the actual train stop in Oakland that I was at. I don't remember the exact story, but I was at the protest. It was like literally on my block. Hard Time Struggles says, "Good morning, guys. Hey, Smiles. Good morning, Hard."
Hey.
And that's somebody from VeeSmilez page. Chris Jones says, the conductor stepped out and stepped down and got some space in the booth. Yeah, they could have stepped out and got pissed on too. You know what I mean? It's possible. And Keenan says, Lord Vel, ain't no time difference. They just up early. Now he's an hour behind us. I think he's on like a central time. Brooklyn Honcho says the homeless man was probably brolic. He probably was brolic with fucking funk. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean,
I just have to say a side note to that because that shit is very, very true. Sometimes, like when I remember being young, when I used to take train, I haven't been on train in years, but sometimes like they would shit on themselves or pee on themselves or shit or pee in a car, and that whole car would smell like piss and shit. And sometimes, like depending on how big and threatening they may look, they would dominate a whole car easy by themselves. Like it'd be 6-7 o'clock in the morning, you getting on the train. All you do, you walk into the car, smells like piss and shit immediately, and you see this nigga over there looking brolic, looking at you. You're gonna get out of that car and walk to the next car where everybody else is at.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, it's a crazy nigga shitting on the train. You ain't nothing you can do. Crazy nigga shitting on the train.
Right.
Lord Vel is in Tennessee. Keenan says, my bad though, you're in Tennessee. He says he is in Tennessee. So I'm not sure if Tennessee is on that time difference as well. I never been to Tennessee.
No, Tennessee, same time.
Same time. Okay,
I was
so
just there.
ain't no time difference then. All right. So Keenan was right. Ain't no time difference, Lord Vel. But salute to you, Lord Vel. Good morning, bro. So our first official story, and the other story we had, I guess both had to do with pee and shit early in the morning. That's kind of crazy. I didn't plan it that way, but that's how it happened. Let me see. But just to read the rest of the story, the MTA officials in April response to COVID pandemic implemented a new emergency rules in response to the COVID pandemic that include the poop ban, as well as as well as ones that barred passengers from taking large shopping carts on the train and required riders to exit subway cars at the final stop of each line. Because in case you don't know, at the final stop of each line, that's where people go to sleep. They have a place to sleep. And
y'all transit system is just bananas. Like The fact that you have to put this in writing is a damn shame. All right, this y'all. I don't know what to say, man. Like you had to make a rule for adults, and it don't be the kids. It's the grown ass men and women shitting on the car.
Yeah, but you know what? You know, in big cities, you have a lot of mentally ill. So I want to reiterate: being homeless don't make you nasty, and being homeless don't make you crazy. But in a big city where you have a lot of mentally ill people pulling up, you know what I mean, and in some cases being even sent to these big cities from other cities, you know what I mean. Like you're gonna have people who are mentally ill can't find their way into a program, can't find their way into housing, and as a result, they're gonna be on your public transportation, and as a result, you're gonna see some crazy shit. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But at the same time,
Homeless people.
go ahead.
No, I was just about to say, homeless people in Duval, they got cell phones. They not homeless.
What?
Homeless is different. Yeah, they be having their little Obama phones, man.
I'm not surprised. That's my point. Yeah, like you know, in California, it's like that. You got people living out their cars, living whole lives, but they just happen to be homeless. So being homeless don't make you, you know, necessarily a nasty person or a fucked up individual or mentally ill. It just means that you're homeless. But there are a lot of people who are homeless because they're mentally ill, and that's where you get the people that we call bums and the people with the you know, the extra funk and the extra things going on with them. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Louisville says, "What happened to Officer Mocha? She's around. She only supposed to pull up twice a week, and I don't know what's going on as of today. You know what I'm saying? But she's around. And I'm sure you'll see her again. But V, I know you look a little occupied, but give me a story of, since you're from the city, give me your craziest public transportation story."
Oh wow! When I fainted on the train, on the A train to be exact. I remember this is when I worked at Chelsea Piers in the city, and I used to have to go into the office in the mornings. And yeah, I called myself trying to be super healthy on this like new health kick and shit like that. And I thought it was a bright idea to wrap my stomach in plastic saran wrap and then put a waist trainer on top of that. I got on the train. As soon as I was standing on the first stop, I got on at Grant Avenue. The doors closed, and I was standing there for like probably 2 or 3 stops, and then I ended up falling over. I know I just started to feel hot. I just started to feel dizzy, and I literally like fell over like and fainted. And I got up, you know, the people, they helped me up and stuff like that. And I didn't, and everybody's like, "Oh, do you want to get off the train? Do you want to call 911?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." I sat down, I took out my bottle of water, and I rode the rest of the way to work, which was like 20 minutes from there. So FYI, shout out to the Good Samaritans on the train, because a lot of crazy shit do be happening in the MTA and the subway. And there are some good people who do ride the train, who do look out for other people, because I've done that before for other people. Like, but yeah, that was probably the craziest thing that happened on a train. Like, and I was supposed to do a blowjob scene on the train, but the train is disgusting, so it never happened.
No, you know, it's crazy. I seen a girl who was advertising that on her OnlyFans. I mean,
did she do it?
Well, apparently, I had to pay to find out. Never found out.
Yeah, the dude, he didn't want to sit bare ass on the train seats, which I understand. You know.
Hey, tell that nigga put a napkin down.
It hasn't stopped people from fucking on the train before, but and we couldn't find a car that was empty. So yeah.
Oh, you know what? I just remind me of this World Star video a few years ago, several years ago actually.
Mm-hmm.
It was these 2 Latin couples, and they were both the dudes was getting top on the train, and then they looked up to see that they was being recorded, and then they stopped. Typical.
I think it's if
Oh,
you do
man.
that type of shit, you can't be worried about, even I know it's crazy for me to say it's germaphobe I am, but if you're gonna do that type of shit, you can't be worried about no fucking germs. I don't know if we got enough time to go into my story, my craziest public transportation story, but V, your craziest public transportation story seems to be about you, not something you saw though. I was talking about something maybe you saw. Like
I mean, honestly, it's too much shit to count. Like I've literally seen people shitting on the train. I've seen niggas jerking their dick on the train. I've seen fights on the train.
yeah,
I've seen spitting on the train. Like
the craziest one is what we asking for.
I can't even say the craziest one because they all crazy to me.
They all crazy. They all equally crazy.
Oh, craziest train story was when my friends, when I was in junior high school. There's when you get to Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst, the tracks are outside, so they're not inside anymore. In junior high school, my friend Traquan, he spit on the tracks, jumped off the tracks, took his Dorito chip, stuck it inside of the spit, picked up the Dorito chip and ate it. Yes, that's also crazy. It doesn't really encounter random people in my crazy stories because that shit happens all the time. And sadly, in New York, it's normal.
And this is why that shit ain't fair. Where they be like, "Oh, the craziest shit happened in Florida." No, I think just New York crazy. Just y'all just immune to it. Be like, "Oh no, that's normal. No, nigga taking the shit on the train, that's normal. That
shit happen every day, right?"
Hey, you might have a point there. Broken Hunter says, "Steph, real shit. MTA is infamous for the weirdest, dumbest shit ever. Only in NYC." Chris Jones says, "You do have some homeless people." Just don't want to get help, like going to the shelters. That's true too. And Brooklyn Hunter says stick-ups were infamous stories on the train. Yeah, stick-ups and when we, beef with different neighborhoods, people sometimes meet up on a train. Brooklyn Hunter also says a scheduled blowjob, that's different.
Coming on command.
But I think they were talking about producing some type of content too. So that's, you got to schedule. It still was business, right? Mm-hmm. Virginia Sims says, "Peace and good morning." Peace and good morning to you. Good to see you. And Hemp Lord says, "Good morning. Salute to you, Hemp Lord. Light up as always. You already know." So with all that being said, I guess I'm gonna try to tell my craziest story, but Keenan Kong probably would say wrap it up because that shit is kind of long. But Keenan says, "Nah, Steph, Florida niggas is crazy." I don't know. He got a point, though, man. We low key immune to certain shit, though. You know what I'm saying? We're immune to certain shit. But at the same time, I'm gonna attempt to tell mine, but I do have a few stories I'm gonna get to before this show wraps up. This won't be a 3-hour show like normal. But I did ask V her craziest MTA moment, which both of them involved her and her peoples. So that's crazy. I was expecting you to tell us something about some people outside of y'all, but that was pretty crazy. I think that would have turned my stomach at very least if I saw your man do that. But my craziest MTA story is I can write a short film about it. So I'm gonna try to just be short with the story. But Steph, picture this, right? So I'm on a train in New York. It's a local train, and across from me is a woman who smells so bad that I can smell it all the way across you know what I mean? Like where I'm sitting. So she's on the row over there. I'm on this row, right? And she smells really bad and she's homeless. And her hair, she has spots of hair missing, like clumps of hair missing. They were like little bumps and dots in her head, like little bumps in there. And I can only see this because she's like leaning over and, half sleep and all this type of thing. And next to her was this obese white man, and he was sitting directly next to her. So I'm already thinking in my mind, like, yo, I smell this where I am, right? How the fuck can you sit right next to her? I'm talking about in the seat directly next to her without smelling this shit, because I'm smelling it over here. You understand what I'm saying? So that already had me puzzled. Like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this man? But he's ignoring this shit. Like how you said, New Yorkers, we do. Like, oh, it's normal. Even though that's not normal, even as a New Yorker, he's on some it's normal shit. He's reading his paper. He's minding his business, right? She falls asleep. she's leaning on him with the head, that same head that I explained with the hair patches missing, with the bumps and the scabs and all that. She's leaning on this motherfucker. You understand me? And he's, once again, is normal. So now in my mind, I'm drumming up all types of shit. How the fuck does he not smell this? How the fuck is he comfortable with her leaning on him? Because obviously there's some type of bugs in her fucking head, biting that shit up, scabbing it up, and he's just cool with her laying on him. Like she's laying on him, Steph. You understand me? So I'm like, damn, yo, this dude. So now in my mind, I'm like, he must be at lack for affection in his life. So much so that he doesn't mind this woman who's smelling horrible with, you know, these whatever she got going on in her hair and all that, laying on him, right? So that is already where my mind is, whatever. Cool. So that's half of the story. The other half of the story is, at some point in the train ride, a dude walks through the train cars. So I don't know how it is the trains are in Florida, but you can walk through the train cars. You can kind of like open the door and walk to the next train car. So he's a guy walking through the train cars, and he looks like an older gentleman, looks like somebody's uncle. You know what I mean? Like he kind of got that uncle vibe to him, you know, diesel motherfucker, but still he got like a lumberjack shirt on. He got some missing front teeth, you know what I mean? But he's still well groomed, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he's not a missing teeth and all this shit because he's fucked up in the game. He's just missing teeth, you know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe he's been in a bar fight. Who the fuck knows, right? So, but he's looking around, looking through the train cars, looking left to right, like he's looking at everybody. Now that type of shit I'm used to because, you know, you got people that's always looking for a fight too in the city, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know why he's looking. I'm like, what this nigga looking at? And then he looks at the lady that's laying on dude, and he starts tugging at her. And he's like, yo, he starts telling, he said, get up, respect yourself. But then it gets oddly personal, and he's like, you used to be a teacher. Look at you now. You used to be a teacher. You used to watch us as kids. Come to find out this nigga saying, you're my oldest sister. I'm a narcotics officer in Alaska now. People been calling me, telling me your sister's riding the trains. I came back to New York to find you.
That nigga sound crazy too.
See, that's the thing. Is he crazy or is it just a crazy story?
No, that nigga's crazy.
The V don't give niggas no credit, man.
That nigga's crazy.
I'm young. I'm like, yo, I'm giving a nigga benefit of doubt. Like, you feel me? Anybody touching this lady must know her. You know what I'm saying? Or in the white dude's case, he got something with him. He got some weird shit with him, right? But Steph, hold on. Check this part out, right? That's when the white dude started to act like like it was a problem. That's when he started to act startled. It wasn't when this lady that stunk to all hell was leaning on him and all that shit. This nigga start acting like it's a problem when he sees somebody try to, you know what I mean, G-check her for laying on him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, we got a good thing here, man. Don't mess this up.
Right, exactly. Now he's acting like something going on, right? So the dude is acting startled over this shit, and then the guy sits in the other chair next to her because, needless to say, the other chair was open. Only that other white dude was only the crazy motherfucker willing to sit next to her. So he sits in the chair next to her, and he starts hugging her, and he starts kissing her in them bald spots that I described to y'all with the scabs in it.
Ooh.
He start kissing the head, and he's telling her like, I don't care what they see. I don't care what they see. You my sister. I love you. You know, and now I'm really like, this is sister. I don't give a fuck what V talking about. I didn't know V yet in life, but I already in my was like, fuck what V talking about. This is his sister.
Hell no.
This nigga's kissing scab wounds on this woman's top of her head. You understand me?
Yo, that is his sister. He shared crack rock with her.
Yo, this was the twist. This is the twist I was waiting on. Cause when you was talking about her smell, I thought you were gonna say they got to a stop. White boy got up and come to find out the smell was him the whole time. I thought that was gonna be the twist.
No, man. The twist, I never saw it coming. It was like some homeless soap opera, some homeless MTA soap opera shit. I never saw this plot twist coming, as we say in the film business. This plot twist. I never seen
thickens.
It plot thickens for real. And then now, but this is the shit, right? She's looking at me. I'm sitting across from her. Remember I told you I was sitting across from her? And he's like, I'm going to take you to see your nieces and nephews. I'm going to get you some help. And she's looking at me. She's looking at me like with these crazy eyes. And she's like, help. I'm still believing this nigga. Like, this is your brother. He kissed them bald spots. That's your brother. I said, yo, you better go with this nigga. What you looking at me?
Did they ask for change at all?
No, she was sleeping. The guy wasn't. Remember, he was well groomed. He didn't look homeless. The only thing about him was he was just an older guy with his teeth front teeth out. That don't mean you homeless because your front teeth out. Like I say, it could have been a bar fight. It could have been anything. This nigga
could have been crack.
Nah, it wasn't.
I'm about to say
it wasn't smoked out. It was just out. Like the dentist did it, or like they, he went to the doctor after whatever happened to him. But go ahead, Steph.
Nah. If you was a cop, someone probably bust you on your whole shit. Yo, that come with the job, baby.
Right, V. The nigga said he was a narcotics officer in Alaska, yo. That can't be an easy job if that in fact was.
You think they gonna let a nigga be a narcotics officer in Alaska? Let's be real.
Yeah. Yes, V. Mayor.
There's only about 5 niggas there.
Yes, V. Mayor.
There's only about 5 niggas in Alaska. Period. So.
Let me tell you something. Like a black.
So to let a black person be that's.
Hold on.
That nigga's dreaming.
No. Listen, Mayor of Nigga Town. Listen to me. Listen.
And Nigga Town is not in Alaska, people.
It's not in Alaska, but listen, I'm gonna tell you like a black man told me in Salt Lake, Utah, who was a narcotics officer in his day job and had his own security firm in the evening, right? That's not a black area, but in a town like that, nobody saw him coming because he was black. You know what I mean? He said he busts white people all the time for drugs out there. And he was like, this dude literally told me, he said, yo, he would sometimes tell the white people like, yo, how you know I'm not a cop? and they'll be like, nah, not you, bro. It's just because he's black. So I'll flip that on you and say that makes him a perfect narcotics officer. Nobody sees that nigga coming in Alaska.
That's possible.
Yeah, that's why I was just about to say, Logic. The white people in places like Alaska, Utah, they don't know too much about black people. They think we are what they see on TV. So when they see you purchasing narcotics from them, like, oh no, it's not a narc. Nah, he's a brother. Get your ass. It's the easy. Wrap your ass up easy. That's the easy one.
But nah, that's my craziest story, and I think I did have enough time to say it. But of course, Keenan was in the comments talking about wrap it up, B. But yo, Keenan, these my fucking stories, Keenan. All right, I'm gonna tell my.
Just joking.
Nah, that's my nigga. That's my nigga. I fuck with Keenan the long way. Pause. Lord Van Lee says, what the fuck? He kissed the nasty ball spots? Yes, he did. That story just got increasingly worse and worse for me. You know what I'm saying? And Miss Ravioli says Keenan, she's laughing at him. And King Soul says V obviously ain't been to Alaska before. Niggas are everywhere. I mean, we're there, but we're not.
Of course, niggas are everywhere. I'm not saying they not. But I'm saying the population ain't high in Alaska of niggas. That's for true.
Yeah, and it's definitely super racist up there, and it's definitely not a lot going on. I had a homie that was a fisher out there. He was a fisherman out there, and he came back with a lot of stories, but he had to beat up the captain of the ship he was on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, one of them world deadliest jobs type shits, like one of them fucking big ships that go out there and fish for them big guys. Yeah. Miss Ravioli says, at V, I'm from Nebraska. It's all black folks everywhere. Eskimos are black. Okay. So
yeah, there's didn't Malcolm X have a whole like community out in Nebraska or some shit like that?
I'm not sure. Miss Ravioli, put us on if you know about that. I'm not familiar with that, but Miss Ravioli, you're from there. Put us on.
Some black leader who had something out there.
Brooklyn Hunter says plot twist. He watched the filming of an independent movie. And you were a prop. Oh man. All right, so check this out. All right, this is another story I definitely wanted to get to. This also comes to us from the New York Daily News, I think. And female assistant at NYC Investment Bank fired after walking in on boss masturbating in conference room. And it led to a lawsuit. And this is a kind of crazy story, so I want to read the majority of it. And I just want to salute to this man, Mr. Stephon Rex Brown, who wrote this article, because this Steph apparently got jokes too. Because yo, Steph, look how he started the article. Check this shit out. You ready for this one? This nigga says
I'm ready.
her boss was so whack, she had to sue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's really funny what he said, or it's funny because it's corny, or it's funny because I never seen no shit like that in the news.
Yo, that is a dad joke if I ever heard one.
That is
Definitely a dad joke.
Salute to this nigga though for putting that shit in the article though. It's just, and this dude you see on the screen is the man who was whacking his dick in his office. So we're gonna get it goes, a female administrative assistant at a male-dominated investment bank walked in on her boss masturbating in a conference room and was promptly fired. A new suit charges. And the article goes on to say, Logan Williams says her disgust with the boy culture at Marathon Capital took a mortifying turn on July 23rd when she walked in on the company's managing director, Chuck Hinckley. This nigga name is Hinckley.
That motherfucker looked like a Chuck Hinckley.
Yeah, had a tinkly in his dinkley. I'm about to get my dad joke on. Let me stop it. It's too early for this shit. Let me stop. I get it together, Logic. All right. Chuck Hinckley allegedly pleasuring himself in a conference room. Miss Williams, they quote, they're quoting her lawyer, I believe, saying Miss Williams walked in and observed an extremely surprised look on Mr. Hinckley's face. She looked down and saw Mr. Hinckley desperately trying to push his penis back in his pants with his left hand. He was simultaneously moving his computer mouse with his right hand, apparently in an effort to close whatever was open, probably pornography on his screen. The suit filed in Manhattan Federal Court states. Okay, so that was what the suit stated. Williams' lawsuit also, includes screen grabs of text she sent days after alleged incident. And that text read as the New York office is not Chuck's sexual playground, is what she sent them in the text. He can't even keep his wiener out of his hands for 9 to 5, is what she also texted him. And she also claims she got a threatening call from a protected number in which somebody posing as a police officer told her to keep quiet or something very bad will happen to you. Those texts and other communications with colleagues, according to her supervisors, violated a gag order as part of the bank's internal investigation of the incident. And she was fired on August 24th. So they said she was promptly fired, but apparently it took like a month later. So to me, that's not prompt.
I wanted to see what she was going to do.
Yeah, and like they said, it was an internal investigation going on, and instead of her letting the investigation, finish, she went ahead and started, texting people about his, him jacking off, or whatever. So, they also quote Michael, her attorney Michael, saying, as alleged in the complaint, a hostile and discriminatory environment was fostered at Marathon, a company run entirely by men, because of his leaders' willingness to look the other way and put profits over a safe work environment. No woman should ever be subjected to the outraged conduct of Miss Williams endured. And we look forward to vindicating her rights in federal court, attorney Michael Williamson said. Willman, excuse me. Efforts to reach Hinckley were unsuccessful. No shit. And they also go on to say, it's unfortunate that our former employee, they quote an attorney again saying, it's unfortunate that our former employee has resorted in making baseless allegations that are nothing more than desperate. Oh, this is the attorney of the company. I'm sorry about that. They say that she was making baseless allegations that are nothing more than a desperate attempt to extract an undue payment. Marathon Capital adheres to the highest standards of professional conduct, and we will defend ourselves vigorously. And a Marathon spokeswoman said, so they hired a woman to say that, by the way. And yeah, so I think that's the end of this article, and I think we can kind of speak on it. With that being said, V, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think this lady has an actual case?
I'm actually kind of torn because I feel like she doesn't really have a case because he didn't sexually assault her. He didn't do anything directly to her. Now, granted, he's not in his personal office. He's in a conference room, which in most offices, conference rooms are usually like a communal type of space for, a lot of people to, gather and engage in.
Right.
Only thing I would say also about this is that a lot of these companies have, workplace policies where they want people to represent them in a certain light. They want their employees to, maintain a certain type of presence. When we talked about a couple of weeks ago, that girl being fired from Honda who had her OnlyFans, like that's still unethical work practices. So for me, if that girl from Honda could be fired, why isn't this dude fired? Because that's still an unethical act that you're still committing, and you're committing at the actual workplace. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of torn in between because I'm not really sure how to feel about this, because on one hand, I feel like she could have knocked first, and two, he didn't do anything to her directly. So why should he be penalized for it? That's just the same thing. If you are in a workplace and you go into the bathroom, accidentally, you open up the bathroom door, you're not trying to see what that person is doing or anything like that. It could just be an accident. You don't have to go around texting people like, oh, I went into the bathroom stall and I seen this person with their pants down, or whatever the case may be, like that's, and sometimes if you see people in a personal space or people doing things that are uncomfortable to you, it's nothing to be it's nothing to be talked about amongst everyone else, at the workplace. So I really don't know how to feel about this. I really think that this is, she probably won't. I really think she doesn't really have a case because he really didn't do anything to her. But with them firing females for having OnlyFans and stuff like that, if you guys are going to say, people are supposed to represent the companies in a certain way, then on those grounds, then yes, this man should be fired. So yeah.
Right. Steph, your thoughts before we go to the comments, and then I'll give my thoughts. Does she have a case, Steph? Is the question. Does she have a case?
No, she does not have a case. Shouldn't even be entertained. Like V said, the man was in a private space, and when he seen you came in, obviously he felt the shame. He put his dick away and was trying to close the windows. He didn't want you to see his dick. That's the thing, right? Secondly, but she's seen it as a money grab and a money grab opportunity. That's why no one was going to fire her right away. This is what she did. She said she received threatening text messages. I don't believe it. I believe that was just propaganda. Like, ain't nobody trying to kill you because you see my dick out. Like, that don't even make sense.
But
right, and clearly it's the same person that she caught fire her. Why? Because that person was a boss. That person had
no. He didn't fire her.
You had none.
The company fired her because she violated the gag order of the investigation. So that could have been from HR itself. You know what I'm saying?
Could have been.
I don't think
that person could have just had mad pull.
I mean, he definitely had pull. He's the fucking he's the boss up there. He definitely had pull. He definitely had other pull.
Y'all stupid.
No. But this is a money grab, honestly, man. To me, it's like women who are like being harassed at the job, who actually be like you. This is equivalent to you walking into a room and I ain't got my pants on, like I'm getting dressed. Like it's an accident. Shit happens.
All
You
right,
know
so
what I'm
I'm
saying?
gonna
You
play
got
that.
to make it.
I
Try to
feel
play
like a lot
victim.
of females are taking this harassing and abuse, sexual abuse thing a little bit too far. Because there's women who are actually out there being harassed and sexually abused, and women who get into situations like that try to turn it into something more than what it is.
I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate, but I'm gonna go to the comments first. And all right, so Chris Jones says, okay, back to the MTA situation where we seen where we were talking about people shitting on the subway. So if you missed earlier in the show, MTA finally officially is banning shitting on the subway. Apparently they need to officially ban shitting on the subway. But Chris Jones says his story is he was on Myrtle and Broadway standing by the Popeyes, but somehow homeless guy, I guess, was high, but he fell on the train tracks. I've seen that happen before. Got mostly under the train, but somehow one of his legs got caught under the train tracks, screaming out loud, saying my legs repeatedly. Then the lady said, stay down, don't move. Anyways, the fire truck came to release him. While the guy is getting released, you can see blood gushing out of his legs, but they finally release him and put him in the, I'm assuming they mean ambulance. King Soul says, where is the spot that isn't super racist? Hey man, it's America. I don't know. I don't know of one. Keenan Khan says, I got an ex from Iowa. Niggas is everywhere. And Redemption says, y'all up early. Yes, we're trying to get back to the original schedule. Plus, I have some business to attend to early this morning, so I wanted to make sure we stuck to the script and said we was gonna give you a show on Wednesday, and then we'll give you another one Friday, and then we'll do 2 more shows leading us up to our 40th episode next week before we do season 2 starting October. And she says, salute to you, Redemption. Salute to you. It's always great to see you in the chat. Mike from Boston says, so he fired her because he was jerking off? That's crazy. So once again, they fired her because allegedly they claiming they fired. I'm going to say allegedly. The company's position is they fired her not because she found him jerking off, because she violated the gag order that is encompassed that comes with the investigation. So the company was doing their own investigation on the matter, and she was texting people about how mad she was about it, and that apparently violated the gag order that came with the internal investigation. So that's the company's stance on it. I mean, we can look at it from the outside and say because he was, beating his meat, but that's that's their stance. Steph?
Listen, and also, if you a boss man, you don't have to put a time limit or a restriction on when you can beat your dick. Okay, they gave you that room. She wasn't supposed to be in there. See, and that's why they trying to get rid of these no knock warrants, because you can't just come up in places not knocking. You know what I'm saying? It's inappropriate.
It was the
If
conference.
anybody should be fired.
The conference room is like a common space, though. It was the conference
No,
room.
no. She didn't even have that kind of what she was doing. What she was doing in there with nobody else in there.
I don't know. Maybe she went to go handle one too. I don't know. Let's go. Lordville in the league says he did it. He did. Hold on. He did it. He has a guilty face. I mean, he definitely looked like someone that would beat.
Oh no, he did it. Oh, no, he did that
shit. Yeah. HB2S says she getting fired for not knocking on the door first, and that goes to Steph's point. Chris Jones, okay, Steph. Steph, you was about to say something?
No, that's just. I mean, that they teach that work ethics. I mean, ethnics. You know what I'm saying? Knock. Courtesy.
Yeah, you definitely were supposed to knock first, but Chris Jones says, wow, that's crazy though. But Logic, it's never too early to get your laugh on. All right, salute. Brooklyn Honcho says she's out of line for suing that man. He had an urge. And she could have just told him she knows his secret. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
She didn't even need to do that. Like
she's suing the she's suing the company though. I don't know if she's suing him. It looks like she's suing the company because the company is the one that's defending the situation. So she's trying to get that money from that investment bank that she was working for. So she knows it's there. Mike from Boston says she should have just blackmailed them. See, this is the thing. I feel you, Mike, but at the same time, now that's illegal. So now it would have went from her having some sort of a suit to them having a suit on her. You see what I'm saying? So once she would have got involved with the blackmail situation, they could have flipped it on her easy. Hard try struggle. Is asking. He asked for your email. I would have told him the Cash App, but he apparently sent the email in there.
No, I sent the email. It's not that big of a deal.
All right, cool. Brooklyn Honcho says, if a man walked in on him, would we have heard about it? Good question. Blabbermouth shit. Petty lawsuits that'll get her removed as soon as the case settles. I don't know what you mean by remove, but she definitely might blackball herself in that industry, because even though if men don't plan on beating a dick in a conference room, they definitely don't want somebody who's looking to sue their company for the mistakes of just any old body. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's not any boss, but he's not, just being the boss doesn't mean he's the founder of the company. It just means he's the boss right now. He could be somebody who was hired to be the boss, and companies they live long past people. Corporations rather live past people. So he can pass, and the corporation still is the corporation. So her attacking the corporation for his mistake is something that other corporations probably won't like, that they see that on her record. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully she get enough money to start her own company or do something and move on with her life, because I doubt she'll ever be working in that field again unless she start her own business. HB2N says penalize, penal. And King So says, didn't the article say he sent threatening text messages? I think it was threatening phone calls she got. She got a threatening phone call from somebody claiming to be a narcotics officer from Alaska. Now I'm playing. Somebody claiming to be a police officer saying that. Somebody saying that they claim to be a police officer, bad things will happen to her. So wasn't a threatened text, but
I thought it said text message too.
Yeah. Brooklyn Hodge says, Vanessa, keep it real. Have you ever rubbed one out at work?
Nah, I can't masturbate outside. I can't. It just doesn't work out for me. I have to be like in a bed to masturbate.
There's your answer. And our redemption was laughing with Steph. Virginia Sim says, Florida is the fuckery capital of America. And and King So says, people get killed.
Sir, respectfully, we've talked about crazy shit all morning, and ain't nothing happening in Florida.
But you can't act like Florida ain't crazy now.
Don't call us the capital though. When y'all motherfuckers, when y'all see motherfuckers on the train beating their dick on a daily basis, that ain't Florida. That's New York.
He raises a good point. I'll just say that. King So says people get killed for far less. Bitch was trying to violate the little Chucky Peckerwood. And Redemption Song says the company was foul, but she opened herself up for their actions. They saw an opening based on her response. She got strategically fucked. Yeah, I mean, I think her lawyer put her in a position where they really made her think she had a case. And they're trying to run this whole boys club thing, man ran organization. It's like, yo, I understand it's Me Too time and it's 2020 and all that, but you know, that shit don't got nothing to do with the fact that he wasn't being his dick on purpose in front of you. You walked in on him. Granted, it's inappropriate, but he didn't try to force her to get involved with the situation. Exactly. She just happened to stumble on the situation. You know what I'm saying? So the organization being male ran and all that shit has nothing to do with it. So I agree with you, Redemption. The company was foul, but she did open herself up for their actions. They're going to defend themselves the best they can. They do have the money to do so, and they're not going to hire a mediocre help on this one. They're going to hire the best they can, and they're a female person cleaning that shit up. But
you know what I'm thinking about too? She probably heard the porn in the room. So she bust up and thinking paycheck, bust up in the room. I caught you, nigga. Then boom, she knew what she was doing this whole time. Women be strategical like that, man. They be thinking.
Well, she probably seen him go in there before. Like, this is probably not the first time that she even probably seen this nigga go in that office. She probably seen him go in there a couple of times, you know, throughout the year, maybe over years. She just said, let me go in there one day. And that's probably what she did.
She was like, yeah. I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna catch his ass next time. Jam him up.
Hey, but this the thing about
get to the bag.
This the thing about that, right? Like it's a fair enough theory. However, if I'm giving that theory credit, then I might have to ask, why didn't she pull out the phone then? Why didn't she get the proof? Like, why did she just walk in then? You know what I'm saying? So is her word against his? You feel me? Like,
why was she going in there? What was she got? She got to justify why was she going in there in the first place?
Into the conference room? There's many ways to go in the conference room. Conference room.
Hold on. He went to the conference room to handle his business, right?
What was she going in there for?
There was no conference.
Right. Exactly.
There was no conference in there. What was she going in there for?
Mm-hmm.
She could have went in there to eat lunch.
They got a lunchroom. I'm sure they got a lunchroom. Investment banking firms, they got a lunchroom.
And that probably got a weird dude that always be fucking trying to talk to her when she don't want to go talk to this nigga around the water cooler.
And some places, some offices, you can't eat in the conference room. Some places, the conference room is strictly for conferences. If you're having a conference call, if you're having a meeting, so there has to be a purpose for her going into that room. And what's weird about this article is that if she was truly innocent, she would have revealed her purpose for going into that room.
I mean, she might have.
She didn't.
She might have, but the article didn't tell us everything. I'm sure there's a lot more.
Nah, that would have been a perfect spin for her lawyer to put out, though. Her lawyer could have been like, oh, she went into the conference room because she had a conference call and this is what she stumbled upon. That's easy to create a victim mode. She couldn't even do that. So that also showing that it's a little fugazi what she's trying to do.
All right, fair enough. Lorville says, did he jack off expeditiously? Laugh out loud, T.I. And I don't know if he jacked off expeditiously, but she did call Crime Stoppers. She did call Crime Stoppers on his ass. Jay says, good morning. Good morning, JJ. And it says, good morning, big bro. Salute to you, man. Hope everything is good on your side. Salute to you and your family. Virginia Sim says, Google man in Florida and put any date. You see some wild shit. Mills Lane says, good morning, Mills Lane. Hope you're having a great vacation, and we'll be in touch with you behind the scenes. Hopefully you can, grace us with your presence on Friday, big bro. JJ says, good morning, Mills Lane. Yeah, salute to Mills Lane. Good brother right there. Brooklyn Hodge says, what would you do if you saw Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton? I'm minding my fucking business and turning around. B?
I want a bag, so yeah, I'm gonna try to figure that out. I don't know what I would do,
and that's what.
I probably not. No, but see, I'm different. Hold on, I'm different. I'd probably see. That's the thing. I'm not really. I'd have to go and get a bitch to join in so I can get my money. Like I'd have to find somebody to go hold his balls while she suck his dick. Something.
Be on her House of Cards shit.
Only thing I ask.
You trying to really blackmail that nigga for real?
No. I just want money. I could find a bitch while she's sucking dick.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He needs somebody else to hold his balls or rub his back or rub his head or whatever the case may be. Some niggas just like two bitches sucking their dick. So,
Oh, you talking about pimping? That's what you saying.
No, not at all. Just making money.
Why are you bringing a woman in there? You're not getting money from her coming in there?
I gotta have peace. I would like to have PC of the situation. Absolutely. We're talking about Bill Clinton here. Absolutely.
That's pimping. That's what I'm saying. You talking about?
No, it's not pimping.
Oh, V, come on. All right. I know they don't call.
If that's the case, then everybody's a hoe. Anybody who gets money from anybody else is a hoe, and I stand on that.
Hey, it's not pimping. She's a madam.
She's a madam.
Show some respect.
I'm not a madam. No.
Lady V. Show some damn respect, man.
Yeah, I'm crazy. Can we read King So's comment because this validates how crazy Florida niggas is?
We'll get to that, but Steph has something to say too. Steph, you trying to say?
Oh man. Oh, what was I saying? I was just answering the question about the Monica Lewinsky thing. Like what I would do. Only thing I need, because the president has the power to get anybody out of jail. I just get my homie home. That's it. I just be like, hey, if you do this favor for me, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't trying to put you in a bind, but can you do that for me?
Good answer. Good answer. Real good answer. I'm glad we brung it back up. That's a real good answer. I'm mad I ain't say that. That definitely a couple niggas that could have used a pardon. that I could have used that for. That's a real good answer. All right. Keenan Khan said Mills. He's talking to Mills. King So says, wasn't that nigga from Florida running around butt naked eating people on the benches? Florida is kind of wild. My people from Fort Lauderdale. I mean, people be on that shit everywhere. Steph, you want to answer that? The guy who was the zombie guy?
Yo, I remember that because that's when Molly's first came out. Everybody thought it was bath salt, but bath salt is in Molly's. That nigga was on Molly, right? He was psyched out. And then I think he was eating a nigga face. And this is like, and the cop shot this nigga. This nigga was butt naked and the cop shot him, right? We was just talking about how you don't shoot somebody, I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I would have shot that nigga. I ain't trying to wrestle. I ain't trying to tussle with you, nigga. I got to shoot you eating faces. You got to go.
I mean, I can't argue.
Hey, you know this? Hey, he shot. Hey, the police shot him with no investigation. Ain't nobody asked no questions. With nobody out there protesting. We were like, nah, that nigga crazy.
That's some real shit. That was a crazy situation.
You were. There was no protest and no outcry for that nigga at all.
That was a crazy situation. I do remember that. And I didn't even think of it like that. You know what I mean? That guy definitely probably thought he was in the zombie apocalypse and just got to letting off. Let me see. Milzane says it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's a drug thing. And Virginia Sims says maybe she went to the room to prepare for upcoming conference. Exactly. There's reasons to go to the conference room. Come on, it's the conference room, V. The conference room. Anyway, love that.
Hey, that nigga was like, that nigga like, what you doing in here? Ain't no conferences today. She had no business in there, dog. She heard that fat.
That's disgusting. All right, cool. So, but I don't know. I'm giving her the benefit of doubt. I think there is reasons to go to a conference room, but at the same time, you guys could very well be right. She could have definitely went in there because she heard the flip, and the light murmurs of the porn, and she said, "Yo, it could have just." She might have not even had the intentions to get the bag, if that's the case. She might have really just wanted to be nosy. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you doing in here? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, that shit backfired on you because that's your whole boss right here. So yeah. But Laura Vanelli says Memphis, Tennessee is the capital of fuckery. And Keenan says V getting killed mysteriously. I don't know what part that came from. But
all right.
Redemption says she's laughing at Lady V. And so she's the mayor / the madam. I don't know which one we're gonna go with. Miss Ravioli says that man lured her into the conference. Oh, Miss Ravioli, come on, Miss Ravioli with the abuser talk. This man was beating his dick in private. Of the conference room is not that private, but
he wasn't even thinking about her.
He was
at all.
Hey, it's funny because she said she didn't even say he lured her in there. She know he didn't call her in there.
She right that I would think the lawyer would have said. The lawyer definitely would have said, "Oh, she was invited in there, and soon as she came in there, he stuffed his shit back in his pants." They said, and that's according to them. He tried to close out the tab, whatever he was watching, like they said, which was probably pornography. But I'm gonna read the rest of the comment. Ms. Ravioli says the man lowered her into the conference room. He planned the whole thing. She needed to research and secure a better attorney. Oh, she needs to research and secure. But I mean, so you're basically saying that the attorney didn't mention it because they wasn't a good attorney. I'm saying it didn't happen. I'm saying he didn't lower in there because if he did, he would have kept beating his dick. He would have kept looking at her, and he would have offered her parts. You know what I'm saying? And they said he literally stuffed it back in his pants. So I don't know. Lorville says Madam V. And King So says the article don't make sense. It says she got a threatening call. The next sentence says for those texts and communications violated the gag order, and she was fired. Story doesn't make sense. Okay, so the phone call. Let me help you, King. Sometimes you hit King. There's no disrespect, but sometimes you hit bits and pieces, and then you go off on a tangent, right? The phone call was the threatening phone call she got from a blocked number that was a fake police officer, or a real one, we don't know, but someone claiming to be a police officer. The gag order that she violated was when she sent out text messages to the people who worked there saying that this guy was beating his dick in the New York office. So the text messages is what violated the gag order. The phone call is just an added piece of information where they said she was threatened, hence part of the lawsuit. So I hope that makes it clear.
Hold. But that's probably why she got threatened. If you going around slandering my name like yo, Chuck be beating off in the motherfucking conference room, blah, 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 you go around texting everybody, and then niggas come and be like, hey Chuck, I heard you be beating off in the conference room. Listen, you finna get a phone call from a fake cop that's gonna tell you to fall back. That's how it works.
Let me tell you something though. She said the New York office, as in she was telling people who work for the company in the other states. She didn't just fucking tell that office. She was telling people in other states, like, yo, this nigga Chuck in New York beating his dick in a conference room. You know what I'm saying? So she really went to the whole company as a whole. You know what I'm saying? She probably went. Serve.
You know how that office gossip spread? It'd be quick, boom, boom, boom. Everybody looking at Chuck weird when he going whenever he going to the conference room. Like, what you doing in there, Chuck?
No, it's even deeper than that. Is when he go to other states to visit the offices in other states. That's the first thing. As soon as he come in the office, the lady behind the reception desk is like, "Oh, that's Chuck. That's the one who beating his dick in New York." You know what I'm saying?
Hey, security be like, lock the conference room. Yeah, man. Yeah, they back there. They put the shit on that nigga.
Niggas got his picture. As soon as he come in behind the desk, there's a picture of this nigga. Don't let this nigga in the conference room. All types of shit. King So says that nigga was on Folly. That wasn't no Molly. And HB2N says Chicago pretty crazy. The dreadhead horse nigga just got arrested for animal cruelty. Nigga had his horse on the highway. Well, that's crazy. And then HB2N says laugh out loud. Laugh my ass off actually. Yo Steph, that shit have been so funny. Bitch, what you doing in here? And Brooklyn Hunter says she turned that corner on his ass. And Chris Crook says top of the morning. Good morning, Chris. You know what I mean? Salute to you, OG. And Keenan Collins says Vanessa getting killed mysteriously if she walked into the Clinton getting okay. If she walked in on Clinton getting topped.
No, I'm not gonna get killed because I'm gonna find a way to get somebody to participate. Clinton's gonna be happy that I walked in the room. Let me just say that.
All right, and Virginia
said,
listen,
I'm about to say they'll mess around and kill you and then parade you around, parade around your memory like they did. What's that nigga? Lewis. What's that nigga name? I can't think of his name right now.
That shit to everybody in this country. Motherfucking country will assassinate your ass and give you a holiday if you're famous enough. You know what I'm saying? Shit. That's I don't know who you thinking about, and if you remember who you thinking about, let us know. But that is some shit they do in this country, yo. It will kill you and it
I was talking about John Lewis.
John, who's that? Well, I don't remember who that was.
If I'm saying his name right, I might be wrong. I'd be wrong about a lot of shit.
Look it up. You know what I'm saying? Look it up. With that being said, we're going.
Yeah, John Lewis. Yeah.
Who was he though? I'm saying
they didn't kill him. He was a U.S. representative.
Okay. So y'all definitely. That's what I'm saying. Y'all some House of Cards shit. Have you ever watched that show?
Mm-mm.
Yo, House of Cards is crazy. That's the show with what's the guy name who got into Kevin Spacey? He got into that controversy about I guess he was sleeping with a young boy back in the day. The actor Kevin Spacey.
Oh, on the show he was sleeping with a young boy.
No, on the show he was sleeping with a dude, but it wasn't a young boy. In real life, he slept with a young boy, and it came out later. But the show is fire, and the show is crazy. But it's about a dude who grimed his way to be president. Him and his wife, they swindled their way all the way to the presidency. And in that show, they show a lot of crazy shit. And spoiler for anyone who never seen it, there was a woman who had a secret of his who was like trying to threaten him with it, and he threw her in the train tracks in the show. So the House of Cards shit is crazy. But anyway, respectfully. Virginia Sim says, dude could be autistic like Chris Rock. He's been known to unload a couple rounds before and after performances. I didn't know Chris Rock was autistic, but I know what's this other guy named the other white comedian who's really Mexican, Louis C.K. He was outed for beating off in front after shows. He invite women, other comedians, to his dressing room, and he be beating his dick and looking at him in the middle of the conversation. Chris says, "What y'all talking about right now?" So there's a guy named Mr. Prinkley or something like that, or Hinkley, who got caught in his conference room beating his dick, and now he's being sued. Is what we're talking about. Redemption says the onus was upon her to prove that this type of environment was fostered. She failed miserably, and yeah, she definitely did. And Virginia Simpson's laugh out loud at the gag order. And HB2N said, "This is why it's hard to work around women. There rarely are team plays." I don't agree. I think black women, especially black women, are very much team plays. So I don't know. But in the office, it can foster a weird environment. You know what I'm saying? But it's been my experience that women are ride or die. You know what I mean? Laurel in the league says, "Was the lady white, black, Asian, or Latina?" We're not sure. They didn't put her information out there. Brooklyn Hondro says, "Just imagine how crazy he was getting when it was a work from home order." He probably might have been one of the people that got caught on the Zoom beating this shit. And King Soul says, "Chicago, aka the Wild Onions, dumb crazy out there. Sheesh." HB2N says, "Clinton definitely got black son too. Hillary don't allow him to claim." And King Soul says, "John Lewis, the nigga, get his ass whooped all the time with Martin Luther King." Okay. And says Vanessa would have got dirty. Also, they know you won't snitch. And Redemption says Spacey accuser died in real life and the suit was dropped. Yeah, that's crazy. And Aki Better says Vanessa, Lex Still, or Rico Strong. That's
Lex Still.
That's another episode. And Chris says the allegations are true. May he get what he deserves. I mean, she walked in on him, so that's what that is. Hold on, y'all. And Keenan says, I stopped watching House of Cards once it went Bantiman. Yeah, they ran train on his Secret Service agent, so that's when it got a little weird. You know what I mean?
Hey, yo, I ain't get that far. I was like a season and a half in, and I stopped watching. I ain't get that far, bro.
So my fault. I got So I watched up into that part too. I definitely didn't finish it, but I did. I thought the show was good enough to watch what happened a little bit after they ran train on the Secret Service nigga Meacham. But him and his wife definitely ran train on that nigga, which was crazy. Yeah. So Kevin Spacey definitely was with the weird shits, even in the television show. With all that being said, speaking of politics, because now I guess it kind of transferred to politics. Me and my Corona shit. I seen an article that popped up yesterday that I thought is valid, and it's a really short video that's in the article, and I want to talk about this before we get up out of here, because like I said, I have some business to handle this morning, hence why we came on so early. And but at the same time, feel free to go back and watch from the beginning if you didn't watch this from the beginning. And we're not out of here yet. I'm just giving that quick disclaimer. And this is about a Republican politician at a Trump rally. So this is somewhat of a follow-up. We talked about Trump still planning to do rallies. even though coronavirus is among us. And so one of the Republican politicians at a Trump rally, a GOP speaker tried to urge Trump crowd to wear masks. And I thought it was pretty funny. So let's watch this real quick. Quick video.
You know, we just showed that rally, and then he had another one earlier today that our reporter referenced, also in Ohio. The state's lieutenant governor was there, right? Trying to talk them up, right? President supporter, talking to them about wearing a mask. Actually had the nerve to say that thousands of people gathered in a room should do so. This was the response.
But if you go into a grocery store where you got to wear one, all right? Hang on, just listen up. Just listen up. All right, I get it.
All right, I get it.
The person, he's trying to.
So I thought that was pretty funny still, that this motherfucker tried to talk to his own constituents, his own Republican people out there, and they booed his ass. Fuck that mad shit. What's y'all thoughts? Because y'all both don't, y'all both not scared of this corona shit the way I get down. So what's your thoughts on them booing him? Y'all both on Teddy Riley, and we'll start with
Nah,
that.
man.
No. Since you started, go ahead. Go ahead, Steph, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just, like, I don't get the point of booing him. That's y'all nigga. You know what I'm saying? Y'all voted him. He is the governor of Ohio. Y'all put him in place and y'all booing him because he's telling you to put on a mask. I mean, I don't think the mask shit is that serious, but that's me. You know what I'm saying? I'm 31, good health. That's me. That's just how I'm coming at it. But I can't speak for. I'm not responsible for the entire state of Ohio. I'm not responsible for the entire state of Florida. So I can look at the shit different. I can be as cavalier as I want to be, but that's just how I feel. It's kind of stupid, but kind of funny actually.
And that's what I thought. I thought it was a little funny. V?
I love it. I think it's about time that we start booing some of these people for these fraudulent laws that they're putting out just to control people. This mass scenario that they're using on people is not for their health. It's not to help them. It's been proven that particles that exist in viruses can still pass through masks, and that masks do not prevent viruses. They actually cause breathing problems for a lot of people, and people who wear them are going to be fucked up a lot in a couple of years from now. So I'm glad that the people are actually standing up for themselves and, booing him, because everybody's tired of this dumbass mask shit and people acting like this shit actually is helping people, because it's not.
Are they standing up for themselves?
They are.
Are they just entitled? Are they be just entitled?
No, they're not being entitled. They're actually standing up by booing him because they're not booing him the entire time. They booed him based on when he said that.
Right, but he's not saying I just passed the bill or anything like that. He's just advising.
No, they're booing him on the statement of trying to advise people to wear masks, and they're booing him because they're against wearing masks.
But he advised them to wear a mask in the grocery store, and
they're booing him because of that.
Right. So what I'm saying is that oppressing them? Are they standing up for themselves because someone is advising?
It's not about oppression. They're booing the idea of wearing a mask.
It is. I'm saying I'm responding to you. Hold on, Steph. I'm responding to the part where you say they're standing up for themselves. So what I'm saying is he's advising them to, when you're in a grocery store around other people buying food, put a mask on. Is that really stand up for yourself, or once again?
Yeah, it is, because a lot of people do not believe that wearing a mask does save people from viruses. A lot of people know that masks do actually cause other problems in the body. So essentially, that is standing up for yourself, because everybody's theory is different. Everybody's logic is different. Some people believe that masks saved them and helped them, and some people really feel and know, because of what's been proven in a lot of different studies, that masks do not help them. So in this instance, I do feel like, yes, these people are essentially standing up for themselves.
Okay.
Everybody don't think that a mask saves them, and clearly this crowd is exactly that.
And this is what I like about white people. They don't want you. They won't allow you to take away their liberties. They won't stand for it. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I do respect about them, when especially blacks who are part of the Democratic Party, like they coerce us into giving up our rights, like making it illegal to text and drive, right? That's one thing. Okay, you do research and you hold me at fault. That's another thing to make it illegal. If you see my phone lit up, you can pull me over.
Right.
Who the hell? Who? Like nobody want. Like, come on, man. You gave up your right. You gave up a freedom and put yourself in some more shit because they convinced you that it was for the greater good, when really it was just to fatten their pockets. Same thing about they convinced us that the traffic lights, the pictures on the traffic light thing were good. Democrats, oh yeah, it's good. It'll stop people from running red lights. No, it don't. Now all it does is got people smashing on brakes not to go past that red light and end up getting rear-ended. And it's fattening their pockets. Everything they're doing is is not for you. Believe me, it's not. They'll make it seem like it's for you. They'll talk you into it. But listen, it's not for you. It's always for them. It's always somebody who's gonna capitalize off of this situation.
All right. So I get your points. And I'm gonna go to these comments, and where are we gonna start? Okay, here we go, my man. Virginia Sims says, I heard somebody say fuck out of here. And Bill Zay says they equate wearing a mask to allowing their daughter to date black guys. And Redemption is laughing at Bills, as in my ish is laughing as well. Slim says reduces the spread, V, not eliminate the spread. And I understand your points with when you say that they feel like they're taking their rights or whatever. But my thing is, the grocery store, we all should feel comfortable buying food from the fucking grocery store. And fuck that, put on a mask in the grocery store. You know what I mean? HB2N says V got her tin foil bra today.
I don't get it.
Instead of a tinfoil hat for the people who believe in certain conspiracies, he's saying you got a tinfoil bra.
It's not conspiracies. It's just
I mean, but this is the thing. There's
trial and errors that people have shown on the internet. But go ahead.
Listen, you have to bring those studies to.
And people live through the Spanish flu without wearing masks too. So
all right, but that's what I'm saying. V, you got to bring the studies to the show so we can really dive into them. You know what I mean? Because from what I'm understanding, this study's saying every different thing at this point, and we don't know which one to believe. So it's like, my thing is the mask thing is just something. It's a precaution.
It's some shit to make people feel better.
Right. So that make me feel better when I'm grocery shopping. You know what I'm saying? But bring the studies that you're talking about so we can explore them and put them to our public. You know what I mean? Our audience. Keenan Kong says, I didn't know Vanessa had a PhD.
No, just a bachelor's. And
Mike from Boston says they gotta relax, and Redemption says they do feel oppressed, which is why I said, yeah, I do understand what you guys point, but my initial point was my initial point, but you reiterated they felt oppressed, like Redemption is saying, and they're fighting against it. Keenan says HB2N, laugh out loud. Mike from Boston says just ignore the advice, no need to cause commotion. I agree. Like Steph said, why y'all even booing your own person? This is your candidate from your party. He's a Republican who came to say vote for Trump at a Trump rally, and you're still booing this man, and he's down with y'all. So HB2N says V is right, but she's wrong too. One mask won't save you. If we all wear one, though, nothing spreads. Okay, and Virginia Sim says, Steph, that's because they are using oppression, not being oppressed. They're used to oppressing, not being oppressed. And that's a good thing. HB2N says, Steph fooling now. You don't want traffic lights?
Bro,
that's not what he said.
Traffic cameras. The cameras that catch you when you run a red light or if you don't come to a complete stop on a right turn, those aren't necessary.
Right. And just says spot on, Slim, speaking about the fact that that's because they are used to oppressing, not being oppressed. And HB2N says a black man created the traffic light, my brother.
hey, he got real black with me just then, didn't he?
Yeah, salute HB2N. And Miss Rallier says in Cobb County, Georgia, aka KKK Cobb County, the children are not allowed to wear face shields. I feel that the masks are worn to further prevent victims, especially children, from identifying their abusers. And King Soul says masks help others, not yourself. Same as doctors, so they don't sweat or spit or contaminate in surgery. If you can smell or fart through your mask, it's not protecting you. And Hemp Law says viruses still spread with these masks. And Miss Ravioli says HB2N, right on, brother. And King Soul says is people dirty hands that really pass and spread everything. That's a good point. And they touch all your shit in the grocery store too. So regardless, go home and wash your shit. You know what I mean? That's a fact. Redemption says traffic cameras are revenue generators. True intent. That's and in New York City, I don't know about in Florida. In New York City, they actually have parked cars that have them in them too now, Steph. So they have the speed. They're giving out speeding tickets via parked cars. So you could be on the street where there's no cop, no nothing, going 30 into 25. That shit's going to take your picture and send you that ticket. Muhammad, salute. Muhammad scores on the check-in. And King Soul says it should be global people who have to wear not what? It should be globe people have to wear not muzzles. I think he is a typo in there somewhere. But if you want to correct it before we finish, then feel free. But I do have to make a run. I do have to be signing some paperwork 15 minutes away from me, and it is in 10 minutes. So I'm going to
let's go do this.
So I'm gonna have to go do that. But he said gloves. It should be gloves people have to wear, not muzzles. Yeah. Okay, salute. And I want to thank everybody for pulling up. I want to thank my co-hosts. I appreciate y'all wholeheartedly. And I'm sorry we couldn't really get a full 2 hours or 3 hours in today to really debate these issues and concepts and theories. But I really appreciate y'all. I appreciate the audience. Brooklyn Honcho says later on, salute to you. Ms. Ravioli says the credit card readers alone are more than enough to spread viruses. Every time I swipe my debit and or credit card in anything, that shit gets sanitized, wrapped up in a paper towel, and I know wrapped up in a paper towel, and I wash that shit again when I get home. I ain't playing with this motherfucker. And Redemption says have a great day. Oh yes, everyone have a great day. Thank you again, V. Thank you again, Steph, for pulling up early this morning. Let's try to keep it going. And everybody, this has been the Morning Rant.
Fire, nigga. I'm on fire right now, fuck, nigga. I had the biggest comeback, nigga. Niggas thought it was over with for me, nigga. Y'all tried to count me out, nigga. I ain't forgot about that shit. Y'all niggas think I forgot, nigga. I ain't forgot about none of that shit. So I'm back with a chip on my fucking shoulder, nigga. Wrote this with my eyes closed, or rose in Moscato. Intuition, inner flow from out the cosmos. Niggas ask me how I made it, I begin it, I know. I just went with my soul, and the rest just follow. She's a good girl, fuck that bitch, I'd rather deal with dollars. Say no to CashApp, I ain't tricking, bitch, you must be psycho. But I'm prone to lie though, just don't tell all my bros. I roll gelato in the Bronto, so I got the sky close. Damn, it's raining, grab my cane and pass my Prada poncho. The boots was leather with the tattoos, those the Randy Macho. Goggles, Ferragamo. Condos big as Costco. I pop the rhino, then she swallow like it's Mr. Sacco. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. Modern life like Rocco, but I still pray to Shango. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to gaucho. Rebel, outlaw, reckless, vato, ghetto, desperado. Ain't a Draco, eating tacos, take your breath like tacos. Adjacent to Van Gogh, I'm chasing my shadow. The pain is the shackle, embrace it for battle. In the gym for 7 weeks, I feel like Boris Kojo. I mean Cujo with a new hoe, sober watching Kuso. With my old hoe, I forgot I fuck my hoes in duos. Popo throws in 2 hoes, loopholes out with pool. That piece of coupon for designer, Gucci coat was 2-tone. School old Parasuco, shoot like Tony Kukoc. Bitch, I'm a Samson, no Delilah, put that on my tombstone. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to gaucho.